rehabilitated, and real entertaining. This is the Carl Jackson Podcast.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the Carl Jackson Show podcast, your daily dose of objective truth in a world of confusion and lies. Guys, I want to talk to you today about the Jason Aldean video. Try that in a small town. I want to give you my take on the controversy that is stirred around this video, which is not a controversy. The woke left is looking for outrage. They want their mobs to be outraged, and they're going after Jason Aldean, I suspect, because he's a conservative and his wife, both he and his wife are conservatives. So I want to break this video down. I want to give you the real reasons the left hates it and why you should buy it on iTunes. As a matter of fact, when I first watched the video earlier today, it was nearing 400,000 views on YouTube. The last time I clicked on to see, it was right at about 2.8 million views. So good job, Americans that happen to love America. So we're going to break down this video with Jason Aldean. Try that in a small town. I've actually watched it a few times now. I love the video. The first time, I'm not the biggest country music fan, but I do like some country music, some songs that I hear. But the more that I listen to this song, the more that I like it. And I absolutely love the imagery of Jason Aldean reminding people of what anti-American rioters try to do to our cities. Today's podcast is brought to you by MyPillow.com. Right now, they're celebrating their 20-year anniversary with over 80 million MyPillows that have been sold already. But Mike Lindell at MyPillow wants to thank every one of you, and here's what he's doing. He's offering a queen-size MyPillow for only $19.98, and that is the regular price is $69.98, so that's a huge discount. You want the king-size pillow, just $10 more. All you have to do is go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener square at the top of the page, actually the radio podcast, all right, square at the top of the page, and enter my name, Carl, or give them a call at 800-858-0263. Besides that, you're going to now receive deep discounts on all My Pillow products when you use my name. All right. So on their bed sheets, their mattress toppers, pet beds, mattresses, my slippers, so much more. Go to mypillow.com. Again, click on the radio podcast square, enter my name, Carl, or give them a call, 800-858-0263, and know that all of these products come with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. All right. Join me on all things social media at The Carl Jackson Show, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You know the deal. All right, subscribe to the podcast wherever you go to get your podcast. All right, let's go ahead and break this video down. This is Jason Aldean. Try that in a small town. This thing has gone absolutely viral, and it is driving the liberals crazy, which is probably why I love it a little more. But I want to break this video down. So let's go ahead and roll it, Gabe, por favor.
Sucker punch somebody on a sidewalk, carjacking old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, act a fool if you like, cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Well, try that in a small town, see how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. Got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're gonna round up. Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in
farmers are dropping their own crops for the day. A friend is in need, and they've come to help.
It's what this community and a lot of our communities stand for. Somebody needs some help, you'll get it.
All right, so that was a good video, and let's talk about why the left is going absolutely bat crazy when it comes to this video. There's a lot of reasons. I suspect the first reason is just because the left has been told how to think and trained how to think. So obviously stuff like this, a video like this, you have an American flag. Apparently that historical building, there was a black man that was lynched there, I believe in 1920. So over 100 years ago. So obviously the left, leave it up to the left to investigate that and say, okay, Jason Aldean is a racist. The video is about lynching and all that. It's not about any of that stuff. What you can see, obviously, and the reason why the left hates it, first off, you see the prominent American flag, right? So for the left, that's symbolism of systemic racism, systemic oppression, so on, etc. They do not respect the American flag. They don't respect Americana, and that is everything that a small town represents. You know, I remember growing up, it was like we always made fun of. I grew up in Los Angeles. So if people came from a small town, those were people that you tease. Oh, really? What was it like there? You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. And then people, oh, no, I'm so embarrassed to be from there. Now I'm in LA and, you know, now I'm this cool person and stuff like that. And sadly, that was the way that a lot of people thought, including myself when I was younger. But we were all dumb. We were all dumb because the truth of the matter is the better life, the more simple life, the more pleasurable life, the life that I hope to get to, because sometimes my mind races and I'm just so busy. I just forget that I need to slow down sometimes. But you want that peaceful, small town life, those things that make life great, faith, family, freedom, just simple everyday life, good people that wave their horns when they honk. I remember going to a funeral one time with my wife in a very small town, and well, I didn't go to. Actually, I wasn't going to the funeral. It was a funeral procession, and the cars. It wasn't like cars just slowed down. The cars literally pulled over and stopped. I had never seen anything like that before, and I was just sitting there in awe. I could not believe that. Well, that's what was happening. But let me give you some other reasons why the left hates this video. Obviously, the American spirit, right? The American spirit, American pride is prominent in that video. You get the sense that if you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. That's what happens in a small town. Some more takeaways that I have from this thing. These are more independent-minded people. It is simple living, but it's more independent-minded people. These are the people that the left fears, because these are the people that love America. These are the people that typically can't be brainwashed, right? These are the people that end up going to fight our wars and to defend our freedom, regardless of what you see on the video. They mentioned several things right from the get-go on that video that the left got offended by, which I don't know why you would be offended by these things, but leave it up to the left to be offended by everything. And by the way, I think I already stated, I mean, when I first saw this video, it was nearing or inching up towards 400,000. The last time I looked, it was at 2.8 million. But some of the things that they were offended by was, and this song was written by Kelly Loveless, Neil Thrasher, Tully Kennedy, and Kurt Michael Allison. And it has lyrics challenging those who listen to this. Quote, carjack an old lady at a red light. You heard Jason Aldean sing that. Or pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store, or cuss out a cop. To try that in a small town and see how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. So what's wrong with that? Somebody getting carjacked, an old lady getting carjacked at a red light. He thinks that's a bad thing. I think that's a bad thing. Anybody with a modicum of common sense and common decency thinks that's a bad thing. A guy pulling a gun on the owner of a liquor store. What is that supposed to be? I don't understand that. A man that's trying to make listen, I don't agree with selling liquor, but that's a man making an honest living right here in the United States of America. So someone pulling a gun out in his establishment to rob him, he talks about that. He showcases that. That's evil personified. and you've got a problem with that, this makes no sense. This makes no sense to me. But nothing the left does makes sense. One of the reasons, again, that they hate this video, because this is Americana. This is who Americans are. Maybe not country like that, but there's American pride. There's American spirit. There's this sense that you mess with us, you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. And I think in this video, Jason Aldean rekindled that. Again, more independent-minded people. These typically aren't groupthink type people. These are people that will work with their hands and their minds. A lot of engineers, believe it or not, will come from small towns, small places like that. Again, places where a lot of our soldiers come from, small towns in the Midwest oftentimes. And biblical values, that's another thing the left hates. That video personified faith, freedom, family, community. That's good old-fashioned America, right? Biblical values, honesty, decency. They don't destroy their towns, right? They build them up. That's what happens. That's what happens in small towns. You recognize and you realize how important historical sites are, all the things that make your city, your community unique. You don't destroy them. You don't destroy property values like you saw the rioters doing. It's amazing to me how people just want to tear people down, tear Americans down. There was absolutely nothing wrong with that video. You have to have so much hate in your heart to hate that video. It's unbelievable to me. And you look at people like this. Just a few more takeaways, and we'll wrap this thing up. I told you they don't destroy their towns. They build them up. They understand property value. They understand the importance of history, right? This is what makes those towns unique. It's these places that we want to travel to when we want to get away from the hustle and bustle of the cities. We just want a more simple, relaxed vacation. That's what these towns represent. Slowing down, enjoying life. God knows I need it. I'm convicted myself as I sit here and talk. All right. So these are the people that don't go to the grocery store and buy their own, all of their produce. They grow it. And then they got snobs like in, New York City or places like that that'll look down on people like that, while the people in New York City and places like that, they couldn't fend for themselves. I mean, maybe as far as violence is concerned, maybe they could defend themselves. But if you didn't have people in small towns making a lot of wood for your furniture and all that kind of stuff, growing a lot of your food, and you wouldn't know what the heck to do. So it's amazing. People in small towns are looked down upon. But it's always fascinating when you stop and think about it. A lot of the people that build stuff that the people in the cities rely on, oftentimes they're built in small towns. Not saying they're not built in cities as well, but I guarantee you in New York City, there's a bunch of farms on the outskirts of New York and small town New York that are doing a lot of work so a lot of you crumb snatchers can eat. All right, so just think about that. Also in small towns, they respect people. They respect people. Regardless of your skin color, regardless of your class, whatever, they respect people. People are people. That isn't to say that obviously they're people and there's human nature. That isn't to say they won't have evil thoughts just like you'll have evil thoughts. But there's this unspoken word that we're going to respect our elders, that we're going to respect people, that we're going to respect our community, and that we're going to help out our neighbors. And that's what you have in small towns. They also respect property. We mentioned that. They understand the value of property and taking care of your property and upkeeping your property. Also, they respect the rule of law. You saw that girl, one dude, I can't recall if it was a dude or a girl. I could barely tell, spit in the cop's face. Another girl just, throwing up the middle finger to the cops. And I mean, if that girl was in a bad situation, I guarantee you she'd be the first one to call 911. But these people respect the rule of law. Another thing he said, got a gun my granddad gave me. Man, that's not just 2A. That's old school values. When I sat and thought about that, I was like, you know what that is? It's old school values being passed down from generation to generation to generation. So I say, Jason Aldean, I hope when I wake up tomorrow that your video has another 2 million views, if not more. Great job. Keep pumping out videos like that. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in to this edition of the Carl Jackson Show podcast. Again, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you go to get your podcast. We're also on YouTube and Rumble. so you can subscribe there as well. Also, all things social media at The Carl Jackson Show, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Until next time, don't grow weary doing good. God bless you.